Fear of flying and the fear of water go hand in hand. Air and ocean, without a doubt, they're interlinked, especially as a lot of the time we're on holiday, and the most of the time we're near the ocean when we go on holiday. So I had a client reach out to me, so I'm going to be looking down at my notes a little bit today to see if you resonate with this client's feeling of where she got nothing, the what ifing. She got no control. Control is massive when it comes down to fears, especially the fear of flying, aerophobia, and the fear of water, aquaphobia. Very much the what if in, the what lies beneath. I don't like it when I can't see below. I don't like it when I can see below. All these different things, air and water, I see them interlinked all the time. So this is a client's story. Never say the person's name, but it's really helpful, and it's also to make you not feel so lonely and isolated when you actually see that you can resonate with this client's story as well. So she'd gone to somebody else for a fear of flying over many moons ago, and done quite a bit of recovery. And she was quite happy where she was with the fear of flying. But because they hadn't quite got to the root cause of that feeling of being out of control, there was something still there. And this is manifested into the fear of the water, fear of the ocean, fear of being out of control again. It intensified, but gone more away from the flying aspect, the flight anxiety, and more into being in a boat on the ocean. So this lady had been on a boat, been learning to drive a boat properly, having lessons, felt quite good about it, then had one malfunction that was to do with the boat, not with her. She felt completely out of control. She felt like she got nothing. Her words were, I've got nothing, hold my hands up, I've got no idea. There was a minute too close to something else to causing a catastrophe, so I've got nothing, got no idea, put my hands up, I've got nothing in here to help me about the what if in the catastrophizing that was starting to happen because she was out of control. Now, she was always a lady who exceeded her expectations. So she'd gone on to actually learn to fly and also learn to drive a boat. So she'd always exceeded her expectations. So when she had this malfunction, it was really unusual for her, and it knocked her off her feet. It literally gave her nothing. Those were her words. I've got nothing. She was numb. She didn't know what to do. She got no idea. Yet she'd always exceeded her expectations in every kind of training that she'd done. She'd even shocked herself doing these different training, because obviously when you first step into a boat for the first time, and I was married to a shipwreck documentarist, when you step onto a rib for the first time, it's like, what the hell do I do with this? It's so different to a car and a plane. You know, what do I do with this? And she said herself, I'm shocked myself doing it, that I was doing it really well. But she'd always, throughout her childhood, popped up these scenarios when I noticed the subconscious mind talking, where she did a lot of scratching her neck like this, the nerves of her neck like that. And I know it's really important, the words that they say after a subconscious moment is shown to me are really important. And she admitted to being the protector, the responsible one growing up. She'd made a decision years ago that because she was a twin, and because that twin had, let's say, got something wrong with them, but it wasn't something wrong with them, but she always felt as the twin that she got to be the protector, the responsible one. But she made the decision to make a lot of things her fault. So when this malfunction happened on the boat, again, straight away, the first thing she says is, I've got nothing. I don't know what to do. I've got no idea, because this is my fault. It was a boat malfunction, not her fault, but it made her feel out of control. So she went straight back to that protector responsibility gene. And it took completely her nerves away. And she was afraid that with a sibling as well, that she could never take control of the bullying that was happening because of the thing that was wrong, that wasn't actually something wrong. I don't want to say what it was because that's a personal thing. She was always afraid that she couldn't get things under control because she was, let's say, the perfect twin. Not that her twin wasn't perfect, she was for her. We're all individual, we're all different, so I don't see things as a detriment. They're not a disability, they're just different, that's all. So she would always stand up for other people. There's a responsibility, the protector again, but she wouldn't stand up for herself. So when she got to stand up for herself straight away on this boat, she couldn't, because she'd never done that in her lifetime ever. She just stood there and froze, and the feeling, the scaredness, the frustration, the anger, feeling trapped, feeling petrified, couldn't get away, the out of controlness, that feeling of feeling stuck, again straight back there, because she'd never actually dealt with the root cause subconsciously with the fear of flying that she thought she had prior. So it had actually calmed down the fear of flying, but we hadn't got to the root cause, and it was all because she felt that she always needed to be the protector, to be the one in control, to be the responsible one, and when she couldn't be, it made her feel petrified, trapped, couldn't get away, frustrated, anger. And she became the person who kind of didn't want to be a victim. So instead of being a victim, she just froze instead. And there's where it comes back to, I've got nothing, I put my hands up to it, I've got no idea what to do right now. Is this starting to make sense to you? How wonderful our mind actually works, and how individual it is to our fears, our anxieties and our stresses. We just need to work it out in our own mind. My opinion doesn't matter. I love flying and I love being on the back of a boat. I've done it for many years, but I understand when somebody else comes to me. I understand, because I've been in that flying background and also that boating background as well. I can understand it from the knowledge aspect, but I also understand it from the therapist background, that they will come up with their own techniques, their own solutions to a symptom, because it is just a symptom that has gained momentum. And the symptom for her was that she'd always got to be the responsible one, and that she'd always got to be the protector of her twin sister, and she couldn't be protector in this incident with the boat. So if this is resonating with you, sometimes you just have to go a little bit deeper. Talk therapy courses, videos, TikToks, you name it, books, they're all really, really good, and they can help a lot of people. But for some people, it just needs to go a little bit deeper, because it's a stress, a trauma that's hiding and running in the background that you can't seem to break the cycle of, because you don't know where to go to. And it's by these subconscious moments that we see in the type of therapy that I do. The Erickson method is extraordinary, because it's like she'd scratch her neck because her neck started to become loose because her nerves had loosened, and she'd do that. And I picked up on that straight away. And the words that she said straight after those subconscious moments as well are really, really important to her mind. So we were able to, I've got the message this morning to say that she feels completely different today. And that again is just after one session of a transformation to overcome. I've told her we will overcome her fear of flying, every inch of that, because that's what I do best. And every inch of this ocean, this water fear, a fear of being out of control when it comes to planes and boats. So I'm V. I'm VASK from VASK Therapy. It's just an acronym of my name. So I'm Victoria Ann Spencer Kibble, and I'm here to help you take your control back, because it's blooming time, isn't it, to take control back and do it safely without having to numb, even if it is a numbing feeling that you have just temporarily, like she did when she said, I've got nothing, I'm numb. Other people use alcohol and pills, and that's not the route that I want you to go down. So if this is resonating with you and you want some help, you can ask me.